Sorry, I got stage fright. I'm supposed to introduce our student speaker. I am champion and pitch hitter, as well as Courier Open Mic Karaoke extraordinaire, Felix Bulwa.
Hey everyone, how's my hair? Nice. I didn't imagine that dressing up in a 7-foot-tall tree costume and screaming at freshmen would be the highlight of my career at college, or that I'd mark my calendar for a certain semesterly karaoke event months in advance without fail, or that I would lose my voice playing and cheering on our championship intramural broomball team, slipping around and face planting in the varsity ice rink. But I must say, Courier House, I would have it no other way. I'm sure we all remember the day we got quadded, whether it was in person or on a Zoom screen. And it's hard for me to forget my housing day, mainly because an official Harvard photographer was hidden in the stream of Courier upperclassmen that trekked up all 4 floors of Stoughton Hall. So when the group finally opened up the door, he was able to take a photo of my blocking group's instant hype. This picture of my long arm fist pumping the air was soon after posted to the official Harvard Facebook page for all of the entire world to see. So I may not be speaking for everyone here, but I was all in from the very beginning. And over my years here, after much trial and error, I realized that going all in is the best way to experience something new. Most of us came from high school where we were told to do as many things as possible and do them at the highest level possible. And getting into this school was kind of a validation that the strategy worked. So it was tempting to keep that mindset coming into Harvard, getting involved in every single club that would accept us. But for me, it took a global pandemic to realize that there was much more to this college thing than the amount of group me chats I was part of. I chose to take a gap year over COVID, mainly because I realized I had more to dive deeper into. And another in-person year at college and Courier, surrounded by you crazy, talented people, that was priceless to me. So I dropped clubs and I pushed them to the side, and I became leaders or cheerleaders in the clubs and communities that really mattered to me. And that included, of course, y'all at Courier. So this past year epitomized that shift, and I'll always look back smiling on the memories I made watching World Cup games or March Madness matches in the Fishbowl, or getting uber competitive at foosball, or just accepting my fate that I will never, ever, ever beat IAN's high score on the Mandalorian pinball machine. It was also a year of diving deeper into relationships and conversations, late night hangouts and Courier coffee houses. It was a year of just slowing down a little, looking around, and appreciating the special community and environment, the beauty around us, which must include, I should say, giving adequate pets to Huckleberry, Ari, and Sky. You can never not do that. It's too easy to get caught up in the rat races of applications and recruiting and honors, although I should say the quad knows nothing about rat races because, as the best housing day video in Harvard's history says, we don't have naked rats running like it's primal scream. All that to say, Harvard was at its best when I went all in. And I have a sneaking suspicion that the same will apply to our post-grad lives too. So when I see that freshman housing day photo, I'm honestly a little embarrassed of how I look. My hair is way too short, my arm is way too lanky, my fashion sense too basic, and I'd like to think since then I've had a bit of a glow up, as I wager all of us have. I challenge you all to think back about your nervous, insecure, Annenberg-fed freshman year selves. I'm personally proud of the growth and maturity and intelligence and compassion that the past 3 or 4 years have given us. And even though today we get some fancy diploma to prove it, that shouldn't mean that push of self-improvement and learning should stop here. So let's just get out of here and make Courier House proud. You know, home of DeGrasse Tyson, home of Gates, home of the two dudes who made La La Land, and home of the Fishbowl Disco Ball, which is the literal Wikipedia image when you search disco ball on Google. I promise you that's true. Look it up after this speech. In a decade or two, I'm sure that esteemed list will have many new members here. So, for one final time, my friends, let's make all of the river houses hear us, and please join me in saying, and if you know the word, there's only one, come in, cool! Thank you, everybody.
Hi, everyone. My name is Oscar Maidana.